Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So today is the perfect day, although I should have done this a few weeks ago, but today is the perfect day for me to go ahead and switch out another container garden. So I recently did one where we planted up some flowers, herbs, and fruits and made that our edible container garden. Now, this particular container was the very first one that we planted when we first moved into this home. This is right in front of Chris' workshop, and he specifically said he didn't want any plants that were blocking it. So I didn't block it, but I will say that after he saw it, he liked it, but he was like, don't put nothing else there. So I want to switch this out for him and change the colors and make them more fall winter. So I will link that video as well because the plants did really good. I'm going to go here and show you. Now, we did have a little bit of problem, and I'll show you in just a second, with powdery mildew and a couple things going on, but I'm not exactly sure what was happening. Okay, so I'll just give you a really quick recap. So we did the Creeping Jenny, we did the Calibrachoa, we had some Vincas, the Speedwell Veronica, which the bees, the butterflies, the hummingbirds, like they absolutely love this. And then we also did the Verbena. Now, again, the Verbena had a little bit of powdery mildew here. Verbenas are a perennial for us, so I'm just going to cut them back and tidy them up just a bit, but you see it's more of a red color, and we can keep that in our container recipe. It kind of goes there. I'm telling y'all, like, this is just one bee, but they absolutely love them. Now, we did have a problem going on back here. I'm not sure what it is, but this is a perennial. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually pot this up. We'll put it in another pot. Honey, what is this right? See, y'all look at this. What is going on? Okay, but anywho, y'all. Anywho, okay, so we're gonna pot the Speedwell up. The Vincas, those were annuals. The Calibrachoas were annuals. We're gonna keep the Creeping Jenny in here. I'll just probably trim it up a little bit. That's why I want y'all to go watch the video, because this started out so small where you couldn't even see it, and then this is why they call it Creeping Jenny. Look how it's creeped out of here. And it's like when you grow it in ground, it's easily to take roots, because a lot of these, when I saw them at the store, I had to actually kind of pull them apart because they were starting to root within like each other. So if you wanted to root this, I think it would be very easy, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim this up right here, and then just go ahead and do away with the Vincas and the Calibrachoa, although since it has gotten cooler, is really starting to shine its light again. But we're going to go ahead and get rid of that too, and then just cut this back and lift this out. Okay, so before I show you what we are going to be planting in that area, I wanted to address a question that I really get asked a lot. This is something I receive comments and emails and DMs and all of those type of things when it comes to planting in containers. So a lot of people ask, do you use the same soil, like if you're going to pull like what we just did and replace the soil? So It depends, and I want to share with you why it depends. Okay, so when I say it depends, most of the time what I will tell y'all, because soil is expensive, I will reuse the same potting soil. However, if they're like big chunks and big roots that are still left in there, then what I will do, and I'm going to put my gloves on because I want to show y'all, what I will do is I will take them out. And so sometimes that can kind of make the level of the potting soil go down just a little bit. I also like to use a spade. Now, if you saw, I was trying to work as carefully as possible, like not to pull up the creeping Jenny or the verbena, but I also like to use this hand trowel and really get in there so that if there are any like roots or anything from the last plants, just really get those, work the soil good. And so we've done that, and what I've done is I will do what's called, I'll top it off. So I've put more potting soil, more compost, and then I also want to replenish the nutrients. So since this will be one of our show containers, I also use this Osmocote slow release plant food right here. So I sprinkled a few in there. They have a little measurer inside, but you want to read the instructions. So I put a little bit of that in there. So that is just basically in a nutshell if I reuse my potting soil or not. But what I will tell you is if I've had a real bad problem with pests, with different diseases in this container, I will like dump everything out and start all over again, because I have done that. Like I've had a real bad problem with just different diseases that would not go away no matter what I planted in there. So I will dump it out and I'll start over. So I hope that kind of makes things a little bit more clearer when it comes to changing out your containers from season to season. So now let's talk about what we're going to put in this container. So got some fall winter colors in here, and these are more pansies, y'all. I went pansy crazy this year. But this is more, I know the blooms are off, but they're more autumn colors, your browns, and I think some are like a red tone, an orange tone. I just have to deadhead this and then they'll start blooming again. And then we also have like an ornamental cabbage right here that we're going to try our best to put where it leans out this way and makes like a beautiful foliage. And then we have some ornamental Swiss chard right here. Now technically there are two plants in here, so if you could see, it's like a red, actually three, a red, kind of a pinkish color, and then this gold. But we're going to plant this all together. I hope that they don't compete too much, because again, this is going to be a show container. Normally if it was like a Swiss chard going into the vegetable garden, I probably would separate each one of them, but we're going to plant that as our thriller. And then we're going to keep the tree, the creeping Jenny, just trim it back just a little bit, and then that is our spiller. The pansies and the ornamental cabbage is the filler. This verbena technically could be a spiller as well, but I'm going to also just kind of clean this up. I may cut it back a little bit to see if we can get some new growth growing on here. But this is what we're gonna have, so that when you pull in, it's gonna be so beautiful. And I think Chris is gonna like it when he pulls in. He claims that he doesn't, but I think deep down inside, he does. Okay, so we got everything planted up, y'all, and I did go ahead and water everything in. Although the soil was still moist, watered everything in. As you saw, I'm known for doing this. I moved things around just a little bit from what I anticipated, just to give this ornamental cabbage a little bit more room over here to grow. And I didn't want to take off too much of the verbena, so we'll see how that does. And then over the growing season, if I need to cut it back a little bit more, I will do it. I try not to take off too much at the beginning of a plant, just so it can bounce back and adjust. And then I put the pansies a little bit closer together. I may go back and just actually move this one over just a little bit, and then we're just going to let the creeping Jenny grow. Gave it a little haircut there, and then let our Swiss chard grow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything cleaned up. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button, and make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.